This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, there he is. How you feeling, baby? How you hanging right now with the Rona?
I'm hanging in there, brother. As you can hear, my voice sounds a little different, a little more raspy, a little more sexy, as my wife likes to say. But I'm doing
But you're
okay,
not going to
man.
get any, right? Because she doesn't have it, right?
No, she doesn't have it. She had it before. Her and my youngest had it before, and then me and my oldest were the two that escaped it the first time around. Now, after I came back from UM's Pro Day, a couple days later, I started to feel sick. So I think that's where
you're
I picked it up.
double vaccinated and boosted, right?
And boosted. Yeah, I don't have the second booster shot, but I am double vaccinated and boosted. And, it's people were saying this one's a lot more contagious. Apparently so.
Let me ask you something. When did you get that booster shot?
December, the end of December.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
It's only been 4 months. It's only been 4 months.
That's when the efficacy starts to die.
Yeah.
It's 4 months. That's the moment it starts.
Yeah.
And that's today. I'm actually going to go get double boosted at 3:00 because I'm going to Vegas at the end of the month.
Have to do it, brother.
And I have to. I have 5 stents in my heart, bro. I have no choice. Yeah. I have to do it, bro. I have no choice but to go to Vegas, where like you're going to a place where people are coming from all over the world. Oh, dude, no way. I gotta bring it on. And so you have the new variant. Is that what it is?
You know what's funny is that when they test you at like urgent care, and I did a home test first because yesterday is when I first lost my sense of taste and smell, which is great for a diet, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But that's when I first got the sense, and I said, okay, this isn't allergies, because that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just allergy season, and so I went and got tested, and I asked the woman at Baptist urgent care. I said, so do you guys know which variant it is? And he says, no, that's done with blood work, and it's not. They're basically testing just to see if you have COVID in your body. That's it. So, when you're hospitalized, I guess is when you do the PCR, maybe is when they maybe test for that kind of stuff. I did do the PCR. I'll find out tomorrow, I guess. But the two, quick tests.
Oh, that new variant supposedly is the dominant one as it is right now.
Yeah, that's my guess. And like I said, the only time I was really exposed to anybody, face to face or close up, that was Pro Day last week. I didn't go to practice on Thursday. I was busy writing a story. So, my guess is I started to feel some symptoms Friday. So it had to have been, they say within 24 to 48 hours, you start feeling it. And again, I thought it was allergies. It wasn't that bad. And I don't feel great today. Today's probably the worst I felt. And I'm still, able to breathe in and out through my nose. And I don't have any fever. I don't have any major body aches. I'm just kind of fatigued. I went for a walk this morning like I normally do. I did a 30-minute walk. I came back drenched in sweat. So I know
that's good. That's good.
So yeah, I mean, I think I'll be good. I think I'll be good in 24 to 48 hours. And that's basically what they said. If you're okay in 24 to 48 hours, then you'll get through this fast. So
yeah. All right. That's good, man. It's good. Get through it, bro. That's what you need, man.
Yeah.
And protect yourself as much as possible. And all of you out there, protect yourselves, get vaccinated, get boosted. You just don't know how it's going to affect you.
I would have gotten the other booster. I just couldn't do it yet. They said you're supposed to wait 6 months, right? So
no, 4 to 5, you can start doing it.
You can. Well, I was right. Yeah. I was right on that precipice, essentially. So yeah,
for me, I think it's 4 now. I think I'm just over 4 months at this point for mine. So that's why, and by the time I get to Vegas, it'll be 5 months because it'll be at the end of this month. So I just, for me, I'm just not going to take the chance, dude, because I have no idea. Let me see when, my boost was in October.
Yeah. So you're already due, yeah.
Yeah, I'm already due. So that's why I've got to be
Mine was
careful.
right before Christmas, so that's I was hoping to do it in June. I figured my birthday, 6 months exactly, around that time. And but didn't make it that far, bro. Thankfully, it's not killing me. At least I don't feel that it's killing me right now.
Yeah, bro. No, that's good thing is you're here with us and you're not in a hospital or in a freaking ventilator. And again, because you were vaccinated, who knows and boosted, who knows what happens if you're not vaccinated or boosted and how it affects you. That's the thing.
Yep.
So it's good. All right. Robert Stafford, they entertained the prospect. Can you walk me through that? What's the
you know,
deal with
there's
it?
a lot of different guys that they're looking at. Stafford's name is one that I saw. I didn't ask about him most recently. The positions that I heard from the most in terms of talking to the coaching staff of what they want is defensive tackle and interior offensive lineman, which now there's a couple guys out on the market that make sense to come to Miami. In fact, one of them I thought would already be committed here. Jonathan Dennis, a kid who was a 2000 recruit that went to Oregon and played for Mario, former 4-star kid out of South
Guys
Dade
out
High
in the
School.
market?
Huh?
Out in the market?
Out in the market. That's the way we're using the words now, man. We might as well call it what it is. Why do we call it anything else? I mean, we could call it the portal. I guess technically we can say that, but to me, they're out in the market. And then the Akeem Mesidor kid, who's 6'2", 272, West Virginia, played in 22 games, 70 tackles, 7.5 for loss, 6 sacks. He's a better player. The Mesidor kid's legit. The Dennis kid is one of these South Florida kids who went to college. Didn't pick Miami because Mario recruited him well, and went up there, didn't play as a freshman, got hurt last year, I think. I don't know. I mean, do you want to take a kid like that? I think it's just, to this point, it's just about getting more bodies in here. I think Mario looks at the situation and says, if we can get better guys in here, let's do it. The other kid that you mentioned, I haven't asked about him. I have to. Unfortunately, the last couple of days I've been sick, so I haven't talked to anybody at UM in the last couple of days. But I will be talking and finding out more about him, I'm sure, in the coming days. The kid that I know for sure that they want is the Jaden Rashada kid, the quarterback out of Pittsburgh, California, that I saw when I was out in California. He actually beat the South Florida Express team. He was playing with a team from Texas. Really good quarterback. Miami is kind of playing the we're going to also recruit your brother card, because his brother's a DB, a JUCO DB, and visited here last weekend. And they're obviously recruiting the brother to try to get the quarterback. So that's what I know about personnel right now in terms of what's out on the market. Oh,
well, and for those of you that don't, you should subscribe to The Athletic. I'm not going to tell you everything, because then you won't be able to get, then you won't subscribe, right?
Right.
But just to give you a little taste, because you had a little confidential piece
Yes.
on The Athletic about what went on in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a nugget from that one, because I thought you had some interesting stuff there about what people are talking about the new practices for Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, look, I have been around the program for more than 2 decades now. And you see the same faces, the same people out at practice that get to watch practice, right, from beginning to end. Not the reporters, because we're not allowed to be out there from beginning to end. We see tidbits, but the people who have been around the program, have seen the program win championships, and have seen the program fall into the last 2 decades, right, of mediocrity, the abyss. And so those are the people that I went to, people that I've had conversations with for years. And I said, listen, I want to know the truth. I want to know the real answers. What are the big differences that you see in practice? And, just a couple of tidbits. One, the size of the staff. Okay. And we talked about this plenty on my weekly reports here with you. I mean, one coach who I spoke to, former college coach, said to me, this is incredible. There's like 40 guys out here working with the team. Normally it was the 10 of us, it was the 10 coaches on staff. Now there's basically an analyst for every position and another person, 2 people between grad assistants and everybody else. It's 4 coaches per position, and it's overwhelming, the difference in coaching and the learning that the players are doing. Everything is much at a much faster pace. They're going through a lot more snaps. It's basically run like Alabama, is what one high school coach, who's been down here for many years and been to many Canes practices. He's traveled to SEC and Big 12 and been all over the country to watch other colleges practice. He says to me, it looks like a Nick Saban practice is what some of the stuff that I heard. So from that perspective, in terms of the execution, it looks great. At the same time, I asked, where are the deficiencies? Where are the deficiencies? Where are they still missing? It's pretty obvious. It's still offensive and defensive line. Those are areas that if you want to be Alabama or Georgia, you got to recruit better there. But I mean, we hit a wide range of topics. Who's the best defensive lineman? Who's the best linebacker? How does the quarterback room look? I hit about 10 or 12 questions, I think, with everybody, and got some interesting answers. So I encourage, our listeners here to check out that article. A lot of people have already signed up for it. I did have one critic in the comments section. He attacked me for he basically saying I quoted a bunch of unnamed sources to push my agenda that Manny Diaz wasn't a good coach. So, I kind of, my response to that is, listen, bro, I gave these people an open floor to talk about the differences that they see, and they made it pretty clear. Having a bigger staff helps. Manny didn't have 40 guys out there with him.
Right, he did.
I'm not taking away from Manny, but certainly some of the details in terms of how hard Manny pushed guys, okay, how they would practice a lot more in the indoor practice facility versus outdoors. All of that kind of stuff was interesting to me, about the way Mario is trying to run this thing. And
well, there's an enormous difference that's going on, and that's where a little bit of the ignorance comes in for whoever that was going after you. One, Manny Diaz is not trained enough to do what Mario's doing now, because Manny has no experience running a program. This was him breaking the ice, whereas Cristobal already sharpened his teeth at FIU, then went to Alabama and learned how to do it, and then went to Oregon and had his own program and had success there at Oregon, and his players now started being drafted by the NFL at a high level. So he was groomed to come back here and prepare the program the proper way to compete against the SEC, which is basically what you're doing. You're not really competing, like in the NFL. Every year you look at the best team in your division, you say, well, we've got to design our team to stop them so we can win the division and get into the playoffs. Well, if you're you're not designing a team to beat Clemson. No, dude. You need to design a team to beat the SEC, because by beating the SEC, you'll beat Clemson to get to the playoffs to beat the SEC. So that's who you're going to beat. So Manny, it's not his fault. He wasn't ready to do anything like that. So there's no way he was going to get the green light to have all that money and the budget and all of that stuff. Plus, the U had not gotten to that tipping point that finally they came to the grips of, we have to spend if we actually want to make our football program relevant. And if we don't, we're going to be irrelevant forever. And they woke up too. So it's kind of a, it's a melding of two ingredients that did not exist. You didn't have the coach that knew how to set it up, and you didn't have the program that was committed. That's just the bottom line. And Manny wasn't ready, and the program wasn't ready. Now
couldn't have said it any better. Oh, you said it. You hit all the notes, brother. You nailed that. And I think, to Manny's credit, Manny did tell UM's when they were inquiring and Rudy Fernandez was in there, trying to see what do you need to make this better. Manny Diaz did tell Rudy Fernandez, we need to be more like Alabama. We need this staff and this personnel. We need more people around these kids. So it's not like Manny didn't know what he was lacking in this. I think the bigger picture is, and some of the other things we hit on in this confidential, tackling, for instance, the style of tackling. Manny was a defensive coordinator. The way that they were teaching kids to wrap up, Kevin Steele and Charlie Strong and all these guys get there and they're like, what are they doing? What is this rugby style? I get it. Everybody wants to protect the neck, but they're going more old school. It's more running through guys, and bringing them down versus, trying to lay shoulders in. And one of the people that I spoke to, who's been out there for dozens of practice, said, look at the injury history, right? All those labrum injuries that Miami had. It's poor tackling style. The way that they were trying to bring bigger guys down, they were getting hurt that way. So to me, this entire spring, and I've told you this, so I don't need to be out there to watch practice because you're not going to see anything anyway. It's a bunch of kids just going through drills. There's kids that are banged up that are going to be meaningful when they come back in the fall, especially on the offensive line. They're still trying to add to the transfer. You can't really gauge where this team is from a development standpoint 9, 10, 11 practices into the spring. He's trying to change the culture. He's trying to change a lot of different things. We'll find out week 1 against Bethune-Cookman where this team really is and how much better they are. But,
no, we won't. No, we
no,
won't.
I mean, we'll find out in terms of depth. In terms of depth.
Maybe we can find out who's got the better band or something. But no.
Well, Texas A&M is the real measuring stick. But my point is, like, nothing you're going to see in the spring in any of these scrimmages is going to be meaningful because you have so many kids that are out with injuries that are going to play. And so to me, it's like Bethune-Cookman. When we see those guys run out, we'll see where the coaches really feel about, who's developed and who's turned the corner. And then we'll start studying, who plays and all that. So from a personnel perspective, we're a long ways away. But from a culture perspective, that's what Mario cares about. That's what he's trying to implement here. And it's obvious that what they're trying to do through the transfer portal shows you that he still doesn't like this roster. There's still a lot of areas he doesn't see enough talent and ability. So, it's one of those things where it's great. I wish I was out of practice. I like being out there. I like watching it. But unfortunately, now I got COVID, so I have another excuse not to be out there. But I'm hoping to be back for the spring game, April 16th, and that week, next week, hopefully I'll be back out there and I can see for myself some of the things. But these people who I interviewed in the Canes Confidential, as good as anybody at giving you perspective on what's changed.
Well, you're as good as anybody in giving us insight on what's going on with the Canes, as always, and I appreciate you giving us the edge here on the Canes. And what are you working on the Athletic outside of getting healthy?
Yeah, well, I have the USF Wayward programs, the Blitz I told you guys about, that is going to be coming out here, and we have a whole series. I think I told you Nebraska, Virginia Tech. I mean, there's all these. To me, if you're a college football fan, you're wondering what the hell happened at these schools. It's going to be a good series to read, and I'm also going to be doing a mock draft. All the college football beat writers, me and a couple of the guys from around the country, we're going to do our own mock draft for the NFL. I'm actually picking first for Jacksonville. I got the first pick in the draft. So I'll be making that selection for them. And then, the Canes, a lot of recruiting. This Jaden Rashada kid who I told you about, the quarterback.
Who are you taking for the Jags at number 1? Bubba Bolden?
The only Cane taken in the draft, maybe. I don't know. No, I will not be taking Bubba Bolden. I still haven't decided. I seem to think that they should really get an offensive tackle. I mean, how many times was Trevor Lawrence in trouble? Does it make sense to get an offensive tackle with the first pick? I don't know. That Icky Equator was pretty good.
You know what I'm learning about this draft?
Uh-huh.
It's a disease to have the pick at the top of the draft. Because
it really is.
The players that are at the top of the draft are not the guys.
They're all interchangeable.
They're not superstars.
Right.
They're not. None of the guys are like, oh my God, this is a can't miss defensive tackle. This is a can't miss defensive end. This is a can't miss quarterback. This is a can't miss offensive tackle. They're like, oh, these are good players, but they're not like, oh my God, this is a superstar coming. It's a screwed up draft to have the top pick or the top picks. It's actually a better draft to have the middle or later picks in the first round, actually. And less pressure because it's really, oh man, like Aiden, I was just talking with Cham about that. You take the Michigan end. Yeah, he's a good player, but dude, I've seen so many other guys that they've taken at the top of the draft that are way more, athletic and can bring a lot more to the table. Like, put it this way. Do you want the Michigan kid or would you take Javon Curse?
I would take Javon Curse in a heartbeat, man. It's a no-brainer.
You see what I'm saying? Like JJ Watt or, Aiden. No, I'm going JJ Watt. I've seen guys that have come out of this draft that you're looking at him, you're going, wow, that's a nasty player. And these guys, you look at him and you're going, he's a good player, but God, number 1 overall, number 2 overall. Oh God.
Yeah, if I'm Jacksonville, I mean that offensive line. They just lost Brandon Linder, right? I mean, that was their starting center for 8 or 9 years. I covered a little bit of the Jaguars for the Athletic. I went to a couple of their games the last couple of years, and their offensive line to me remains an issue. They're still not good enough there. And there's no special elite edge rushers, like you said. So I would take the tackle. I would take Icky or one of those, Evan Neal. I think those guys are still, you can get a franchise left tackle or the best run blocking tackle in the NFL. Potentially, that's what Icky could be. I think I'd probably take one of those two guys.
Don't draft stud quarterbacks and then don't protect them, bro.
You have to. You have to give them something.
Jesus Christ. You know, we watch what happened with Andrew Luck. It's like, don't let it happen again, man. It's like, you just look what happened with Tua. You draft Tua, but you don't protect him, and he's taking a beating. It's just ridiculous, man. Yeah. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work at The Athletic. More importantly, subscribe to The Athletic and support all of our great journalists covering our local sports. Manny, as always, appreciate you, my brother. We will catch up later in the week and feel good, man.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
You got it. All right, there you go. Appreciate you all out there. As always, that's Manny Navarro.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.